Okay, hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today is Friday, October the 29th, and I'm still at the old house, and I'm down in the basement right now in the quilting area, and you're going to hear some creaking up ahead, above my head here. People are walking across the floor. But I wanted to show you where I'm at as far as getting ready for the move. I know several of you have asked, if we've moved yet. We're not, but we're close. We move on, well, we're going to move the furniture out on this coming Friday, and we close on the house on the 10th, and so we'll be all moved out by then. So we're getting close. So we have like about 11 days, something like that, 11, maybe 12 days. But I wanted to show you kind of where things are right now. So I'm going to move the camera around, and I apologize, I have no makeup on today. It's Saturday, I didn't have to go into work, and we've been hauling boxes into storage all day, so I just didn't bother with makeup today. So anyway, I'll show you where we're at. Last update, we were breaking down the long arm, and we do have that moved. So let me show you the spot where it was. Okay, I'm carrying the camera around, so hopefully I'm not making anybody car sick. But that anti-fatigue mat right there, that was in front of the machine, and I used to stand there and quilt, and the machine used to be right here where those boxes are. It used to be up against that anti-fatigue mat. So it is all in storage now. A friend came and helped us move it, and so it's safe and snug in storage. You can see here I've got some containers sitting all over the place, and I'll show you what I'm doing with that. There's my sewing area. The machine is packed away. More storage things here, and these are in here are just kind of odds and ends. There's trims in there. There's heat and bond and Solu-Web, and just various sewing type items that are in that one. Now in this pink one, this one is empty. I consolidated a lot of stuff so that we didn't have to move everything, and so now we can decide whether we're going to keep those bins or get rid of them. So haven't figured that one out yet. And this unit here is also empty. Now this is shrink wrap. Ooh. And this is shrink wrap, and I used that quite a bit while I was packing. So I wanted to show you what I did with these bins that I'm keeping. I'm leaving stuff in them. You can see these, I've got plastic wrapped around them. I used that shrink wrap and just wrapped them, around the container, so it helps the drawers from slipping out, and hopefully keep any critters out while they're in storage. So I have thread, I have some puzzle boxes in there that are to my treadle machine, and I think I have some sugar molds in there that I use to store various things in there. And then in this drawer down here I have some of my long arm patterns, and in the one above it, those two have long arm pantos in there. That's what they have. So and then I have there's like brushes in different odds and ends for the long. I have got to stop doing this. Let me do this. Okay, down there is stuff for the long arm, like brushes to clean tracks, and the bobbin area, and just kind of odds and end tools like that. So the fabric, now I got rid of a lot of fabric, and I condensed it down into about three containers, maybe 3.5. So I'll show you those. This one down here this one is stuffed full, so that has quite a bit of fabric in it. And that's like a 56 quart container I got at Walmart. And then down here I have two bins. They have, the one on the bottom is full. This one here has got different projects in it. It's got a quilt top that's not quilted yet. I've got fabric for a quilt that I've got planned. I have my extra rotary cutters in there. I have binder clips and my alphabetties and triangle paper, and I have the pattern for the quilt that I have planned, and that's all the fabric down here. And that is, well, not all of it. At the very bottom looks like some Lori Holt fabric, but up here is the fabric, plus there's some more behind that for that. I think that's Love Notes fabric, if I remember correctly. And then on the top I have some Lori Holt fabric that I'm going to plan a quilt on. I think I'm doing an applique quilt with that. And then I have some Charm Packs Christmas fabric that I showed in a previous video for Christmas project. So my ironing board is folded up, it's ready to go. I have my anti-fatigue mats. I have most of them picked up and separated, so they're ready to go. I have those stacked up against the wall, and then I have a couple still down there, and then of course you saw the ones that were in front of the long arm, and then I have stacks over there, so I just need to get them all put together and get them secured and then put them in the storage. And then I have my rulers back here for fabric cutting that I haven't stored yet. I have some of them stored, not all of them. And then I have yardsticks that are here, and I use these two heavy ones on the long arm machine to hold up the clamps, and then this is a thin one that it just sits on the table, and I use it for measuring every once in a while. And then I have my red snappers here. So and this is a lead for the dog, so we'll have to put her on a lead when she goes outside. If we're not with her, we'll just clip her collar to that, so she can kind of run on that lead, have some space there. So my cutting table will be moved by the movers, so it's still got some odds and ends stuff on it that I need to take care of, so lots to do. Okay, I have several of these types of bins, and in this one I put the bobbin winder and a couple of surge protectors. So these bins come in, I have two different sizes of those. This one has like that's about a 3-inch deep top tray with a lid, and I don't have anything in that at the moment. But inside there is the surge protectors, and then the bobbin winder is on the bottom. So it's hard to see it, but it's in there. And then I just labeled it with some, this is actually sticker paper, blank sticker paper, which you can use in your printer to make your own stickers. So that's what that is. I just cut a piece and just wrote on it. So it's wanting to pull loose, so I'm going to have to tape that down. And then down in this one, I put some of my other long arm rulers. They're in there underneath this plastic here. So they're in there. They fit in there pretty well. And then underneath I have containers that I had on either on the sewing table or on the cutting table. So this is my first aid kit. This is a bowl that I would keep binder clips in, and that is a tin that was my mother-in-law's. It has some of her tools in it, and I wanted to keep that. And then I have little zipper bag, and there's a pin cushion in there and some of the tools that I kept in this little caddy. And then that is a scissor sharpener right next to that. So there's still room in there to put things. So we'll see what I come across. Okay, I have my sewing machine in this case. I got this at Joann's several years ago. Probably 5 years or more. So I'll unzip it and show you what I did here. Okay, so there is my sewing machine, and I've stuffed a lot of stuff in there around the machine. So I have several little cases that I used. I just used what I had, and I have a rotary cutter in here, and I've got wrapped up some point turners. I apologize for the noise. The household is just so noisy tonight. Screwdriver, I've got a walking foot, a needle case, a Jig. There's a seam guide thing in there, and this is to, I think, to make folded edged hem and tape or something like that. I can't remember exactly what that's for. And then I have another one with bias tape makers, my glow line tape. I have a chalk marker in this bag, and some tweezers, and a tape measure. So I have various different tools in here. And those were also in that little caddy thing that I showed you in the other storage bin. These are the ones that I think I will use. So I pulled those out to put in this sewing machine caddy, because I will be using them. Now, this is not ideal for this rotary cutter, but I cannot find the case that I made for this. It's gotten lost somewhere along the way, so I just wrapped it up to kind of protect it, and it's going to go in here with the rest of these items for now. Okay, I have another little case in here, and I have my pin cushion. I put everything in baggies to kind of contain them. So I have that, and then I have a couple of small pair of scissors, and I have seam rippers and more point turners and that kind of thing in there. So those are all things that I will probably use. And then in this one I have a long pair of scissors, my fabric scissors. This is the next block that I want to demo. This is the Lucky Clover block. So those are the pieces all cut out. And I'll have all my little clips on them. That's ready to go. I put a 10-inch by 6-inch ruler in here also. So I've got that. And then I have, this is the case that actually came with the machine. But I'm keeping that. And then this is my cutting board. It's a rotating cutting board, so that'll come in handy. And then I have my bobbins in there, a case with bobbins in it, and the presser foot is there. And then I have the instructions that I wrote for the Christmas project is in there. So I'm hoping to get to all of that while we're living in the motor home. I may not be able to do it in the motor home. I might have to do it at my church, which will be fine since I work there. You know, I could stay after work and sew and videotape there. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I still have my wool mat out. My iron is still out, so I'll have to find a way to store those. Then this little caddy over here, set of trays, I always keep that next to my sewing machine, and that's the sewing machine thread. And there's needles and zippers and scissors and tape measures, and just anything that you need for sewing is in there. So I will wrap that up with the cling wrap, the shrink wrap type stuff, and that'll store that way. And I'll just have to get thread out as I need it. So things are coming along. I'm getting things figured out, and hopefully things will go well. Okay, from here you can see my metal shelving unit, and that has got boxes of non-quilting things on it. There's my kids' baby books and scrapbooks, some photos, some photo albums. Some of them are some of my mother-in-law's, and I've got some of my acrylic paintings boxed up. And then on the bottom shelf down there, those are quilts that are in vacuum bags. And then those two bins here also have quilts in it. And of course I've got many more of those bins that have quilts in it. So those will all have to be stored. And then over here I have, those are little trays, sorting trays, and I've been using them for various things. I've got some of my, I can fill them up with stuff and then put that shrink wrap stuff around it, and that stores it. As long as it doesn't need a lid, you know, it's fine that way. So finding different ways to pack things up. Okay, yesterday we decided to not move the furniture on our own or with help of friends. We decided to hire professional movers. So we did that. We gave them a call. We got things set up. It's really expensive, but it's going to be worth it, because it's, you know, my husband and I are no longer young, our friends are no longer young, and it's just going to be safer to have other people do this for us. So while we were talking to them on the phone and telling them, you know, what all pieces of furniture we had to move, we were told we didn't have enough storage space. We needed to get another unit. Well, we already had 2 units rented, but one we were about half full already with boxes of stuff. So we had to go out this afternoon and find another unit, which was hard. We've got several storage facilities in this area, but the ones we called were all full, and we're renting from 3 different units or 3 different companies. So that's kind of a bummer. They're in 3 different locations, but you know, that's kind of the way it goes. And you know, with living in an RV for the next 6 to 8 months, you know, we don't have a house payment. So that's where our house payment money is going to go, is for the rental on these units. So, you know, it all works out. It's just not the way we wanted. We wanted everything in one rental unit, or with one rental company, with one storage company. But that didn't work out. So things are spread out. But that'll be it. It'll work. It'll be fine. So we still got a little bit of packing to do. Most things are packed up, but we need to get the RV set up. You know, I showed you the stuff in the sewing area that I need to find. So it's kind of like that. There's little odds and ends here and there that we need to decide where to put them, you know, how to box them up and store them. But on Friday, which is, today is Saturday, so you know, by the end of this coming week, the furniture will be out, and then we can clean this house. We'll move into the RV, and you know, that'll be it. Then we'll have a couple of days, and then we have the closing. So hopefully everything on the house end of the closing, that's all been going well. Appraisals went fine. The inspections went fine. There doesn't seem to be any glitches so far anyway. We're getting pretty close. So I think we're getting there. I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident. This morning, while we were searching for our third storage unit, I was in panic mode. It's like we've got to find something, because otherwise this stuff is just going to be sitting on the side of the road. So I think we finally got it set, and we may be able to consolidate stuff. I don't know how these guys are moving things, but we've emptied all of our furniture of items. Normally when we moved, this will be like our, I don't know how many, 7 or 8 times we've moved in our marriage, but when we moved up here into this house, you know, we just left everything in the drawers, and the movers, you know, moved it with stuff in the drawers, but it went directly from one house to another. Now this has got to go into storage because our house isn't built yet, our new house. So we had to empty everything, but you know, we can maybe figure out how to use like drawers to store stuff that we don't need. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at, and I will maybe have time to give you an update next week and let you know how things are going. I'm going to still try and sew projects, and I think I mentioned earlier that I may have to do this at work, but that should work out fine. I don't think that'll be a problem. It'll just be you'll have a different location backdrop and the whole thing. So I think that'll work. I don't think anybody will object, because you know, it'll be done when there's no activities going on. So anyway, that is the plan at this point. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links, and to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.